got just this weekend, you guys think differently than probably 990 out of 1,000 men. So I want to give you that a little bit more of an edge. How to approach a woman, how to keep the conversation going, how to read a woman, when to make the move, how this will affect your lifestyle. I'm going to try to go through all this stuff, and because it's very simple, I think we can get through a lot of it. Think. This is the first thing. We've been hearing this over and over and over. We've had some amazing speakers helping us change our thinking, right? So I think about this a lot different. I think about the process of meeting women and building confidence a lot different than I used to. And the first way I think about it is, well, I talked about being a social genius before, but let's talk about, what do you want? Do you want 10 girlfriends? Do you want to get married? Do you want 3-day falling in love flings, traveling around the world? Do you want, crazy sexual experiences? The sky's the limit. You can really have anything you want, but if you don't know what you want, you won't know where to go. And this is key. I hear guys saying all the time, I've heard it at this conference over and over, it makes me cringe. Yeah, let's go out to Dirty 6th Street. There's 18-year-old hotties there. And the guy will be like, a dude wearing a suit. Be like, these 18-year-old girls don't want you. They don't want the guy in the suit. They want the frat boy. They want the guy who's getting wasted and, spinning them around and doing crazy shit. They don't want me. I'm pretty good with women. I go out to Dirty 6th Street. I'm not going to do so well. Why? I don't want those girls. They don't want me. I want women that hang out at the W. I want women that are shopping in the nice areas of the city. I live in New York. I go out in the West Village. I go out in the meatpacking. I go out in Soho. I meet most of the women during the day. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I go to women that are looking for me. And it makes my life so much easier. For years and years and years, I just went where the hot women were. And I always wondered why I would get shot down so often. It's because they're not looking for me. They're looking for the frat guy. They're looking for the biker dude. I used to go to this total biker bar because there were hot biker chicks. Do I look like a biker dude? Like this nerdy guy walking in, my little blazer, hey, what up? To this girl who's all tatted up with crazy shit, and she just looks at me, she's like, pfft. And I thought, oh, my opener wasn't any good. No! She doesn't want me. She wants, this dude. It's so important, and you guys really got to think about that. Go where the women want you, because you'll want them too. If women, the same women you want also want you, and that's not a what's the word? Coincidence. It's not a coincidence. So where you go out is probably more important than how good your game is. If you have a guy who has zero game, but he's like an iBanker, he's got some money, he knows how to dress, and he goes out to a nice lounge, he's going to do okay. Because women are looking for him. Women will make his life easy. That guy goes to Dirty 6th Street, no good. So let's talk about approaching now. I'll tell you a quick story. I was walking down, I think 34th Street in New York, right when I moved there. This was probably 5 months ago. And this is 6 o'clock in the evening, still light out, walking home, and I see a girl in Quiznos. All I can see is her back sitting at a table. And she looked amazing from behind. I love brunettes. I couldn't really see anything except her hair and that she was fit, and she looked like she was dressed like a girl I'd want. So it's like, all right, I'm really going to walk into Quiznos and check her out. So how am I going to do this? I figured, okay, well, I can't really see her face, so I'm going to order a water, and then I'll be able to check her out while walking to fill up my water at the fountain, and then if she's cute, I'll hit on her. So that's what I did. I walked by, and she was gorgeous. So I walked up to her, and I said, check this out. I was standing outside. I saw a really cute brunette in Quiznos, but I didn't know what her face looked like. So I went to the cashier. I ordered a water. I filled up my water. Here I am. You're that girl. I'm Robbie. What do you think she did? She cracked up. She smiled. She literally spit food out of her mouth when I said that. Now, you guys can probably see a little bit of humor in there, but to a woman, that does not happen very often. You don't get a guy confidently walking up. It's not a pickup line. All I did was literally say what I was doing. There was nothing else there except, this is what I just did to meet you. And she cracked up, We talked for 5 minutes. She introduced me. She actually took me out of the Quiznos, introduced me to a group of friends. I was watching a movie next door, and she did that for a reason. She did that to see if I was a fake or not. She wanted to see how I would interact with her friends, and I ended up going on a date with her a few days later. Date was great. So let's talk about variables. When I first started going out, I didn't really think about what would be easy. I didn't think about if going out with a wingman was easier than going out without a wingman. I didn't really think about going out at night, going out at day. But if you look at most, I think anything in life, when you minimize the variables, things become easier, right? Any equation with less variables is less complicated. So in my opinion, the absolute easiest place to meet women is one-on-one during the day. She's sitting in a park with luggage doing absolutely nothing. Now, this doesn't happen very often. It happens in New York quite a bit. You'll have a girl who's just there. She's like just moved there. She's a tourist. She's in a park at like 2 in the afternoon. She's obviously not working. She's not doing anything. And you know that there's no distractions. There's no competition. There's no flashy, shiny lights that are going to come and interrupt her, make her ADD. There's no cock blocks. Quasimodo, her friend, is not going to pull her away. So the variables are pretty much, this is the least amount of variables, and it is the easiest approach. Now, when I say easiest, I mean logistically easiest. It may not be the easiest for you, because approaching women during the day, at least for me when I got started, was very nerve-wracking. It's not a social environment. You're not supposed to talk to people during the day. At a bar, at a lounge, this is a social environment. You can just walk up and say hi. No one's going to think you're weird because you're in a place to be social. During the day, it's not so much. So it was always really awkward for me at first to even think about approaching a girl during the day, because it just didn't feel right to go up and use a routine. It didn't feel right to just say, hey, who lies more, men or women? Why the fuck are you asking me that during the middle of the day? Who are you? What do you want, right? This is the reaction. If you guys have ever been out shopping and you got approached by some dude with a clipboard and he starts asking you, hey, where are you from? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. You're like, all right, buddy, just ask me for my money. I know what you want. Stop wasting my time. So in a situation during the day, you got to tell her why you're there. You got to be direct. She already knows why you're there. You're going to look like a humongous douche if you do something else. So either walking up and, like I said, saying exactly what you're doing, that's how I do it. I think that's the easiest way. And the best part about that is the act of actually doing it is so insanely good for your confidence, because you're expressing what you want. You're facing your fear. You're walking up and saying, this is what I want out of life, I'm going to go get it. So even if she says, I have a boyfriend or I'm not interested, you're really never going to get like a harsh fuck off rejection. The worst you're going to get is like maybe ignored, maybe sorry, I have a boyfriend. Most women are going to really appreciate the courage you have, the authenticity you're showing. And even if you don't get the number, you're going to build massive confidence from this. So why I call this merging inner and outer game is the action you're taking is not only getting you results, hopefully, but it's also building you. So, more variables at night. You have a wingman. There's more stuff going on. You got to be able to interact with him. There's more girls. There's cock blocks. So, I'm not going to get into all of that right now because we don't have time, but let's talk real quick about direct versus indirect. I think every approach is technically a direct approach. Women are very smart. If you're chatting them up, they know what you want. I wouldn't try bothering to hide my intentions. That doesn't mean I have to say every single time that I want her. I don't have to voice that, but the way I look at her, the way I touch her, these things should all be congruent with what I want.